Welcome, everybody. Happy Saturday. It's another installment of Home Solutions, your local home and garden show. Dennis Purvis with you. As always, thank you guys for joining us today. We're here live in the Mix 1041 studios. No matter how you're listening today, we appreciate the feedback. We appreciate you guys reaching out. Whether you're riding around town this morning, maybe headed out to get your errands done for the day, maybe you're checking some things off your DIY list and you're headed out to one of the local hardware stores here. Thank you for tuning in. Maybe you're streaming at home online, or maybe you're listening through the Mix 1041 app, which if you don't have it, you need to grab it at either the Apple or Play Store so you can get that on your phone. A lot of great content there, including a lot of Mix TV. Make sure you're listening there. And I can't forget everybody out in Facebook world. Good to see you guys. Thanks for tuning in. As always, we're brought to you by Pro 93 Home Solutions. We're your local friendly neighborhood contractor. Anything you need for your home, we would like to be a part of, to partner with you to help you, whether it's big or small, whether it's a kitchen or a bathroom remodel, maybe it's a basement finishing, a custom addition, standalone garage, custom house build, whatever it is, we would love to partner with you. Give us a call, 458-4135, or look us up at pro93homesolutions.com. Click on that Contact Us tab, and we would love to get your information. That'll come directly to Jesse and myself, and we will get a hold of you, get you on the schedule with Chris or Mark, and get you a completely free estimate. Don't forget, also, we have our clean team. Wendy and her crew are ready and willing now. It is springtime, folks. They are ready to come help you get the spring cleaning done. Maybe you just don't have time to hit those baseboards, those windows, those things, getting those blinds, whatever those hard-to-reach areas are, cleaning out fridges and cabinets. Wendy was here last week telling us about all the different things they do for spring cleaning. Give us a call again, 458-4135. Wendy will come out and give you a free estimate for whether it's a one-time deep clean, a construction clean, maybe you're moving in, moving out, or maybe you want some recurring service. It's the best pricing for those for our customers that have us on a weekly or bi-monthly basis. We'd love to talk to you about that. The other area of what we do at Pro 93 is what we're going to talk about today. In studio with me, I'm happy to have my partner in crime, Jesse Mathews. How you doing, buddy?
Good to be here, man. I'm doing good.
Thanks for being here. And we've got a newbie to the radio show. He is completely unsure about this whole thing.
Well, I know where the microphone is.
Well, that's good. He found the radio station and the microphone, so that's good. But Mark Russell's here with us from Pro 93. He's our one of our estimators and specializing in roof and exterior sales. Mark, thanks for being here, man.
Yes, sir. How are you doing this fine Saturday, Dennis?
I'm doing great, man. It's this has been a busy few weeks for us,
Yep.
Especially in this side of the business. Now, and I'll let Jesse tell you a little bit. Jesse, talk a little bit about just the roofing side of our business, exteriors, and kind of what we do, what we specialize in.
Yeah, so several years back when we started the company, we kind of went after the model of not only are we just looking for replacements of roofs, but we're also in the business to work on repairs. Sometimes, especially lately, we've been getting heavy winds, which you're not losing your full roof, but there are areas of the sections of your roof that just need to be repaired with shingles. Metal roof panels need to be repaired. So we're kind of a full service roofing contractor, anywhere from full replacements to smaller repairs even. Flashings around chimney, those are other things that we do. So in the last couple months, we've needed some more help out in the field, and that's where we decided to bring Mark on board with us. He's been a project manager for us for a while, and decided to put him in the field to do a lot of the upfront estimates for customers.
And Mark's been a friend of ours for a long time, and but also done a lot of sales. He's great with customers. He's just got a cheery disposition. But no, he's knowledgeable. So when you get somebody, if Mark's out at your job site, that's what I love about both of our estimators, but whether it's Chris or Mark, you're getting someone that's not just a sales guy. What you're getting is somebody who has been in the field, who has swung the hammer, who has climbed the ladders, who has done the things that they're going to be talking about. And our goal is not only we want to continue to grow as a business, but we're not after the transaction. We're after the relationship. And Mark and Chris really have they had that kind of mindset before they even came to us. And there's a lot of times where we can save you money because what you think needs to happen may not be what needs to happen. And we try to set ourselves apart by being honest and transparent with you about the process. Obviously, we're in business to make money, or we're not going to be here the next time you need us. But the key thing here is let's be honest about this. And and Jesse, I know you can talk more about this after we talk to Mark, but we're not scared of insurance work, and we'll talk about that process here in just a little bit. But first, I want to get to Mark. Mark, you. I guess first of all, how you liking it so far with coming over?
I love it.
Getting
Working
out in
with
the
you guys
field
is great. The family is fantastic. The culture's great. I still get out and get to meet new people all the time. I've always loved that. So, and that that builds on what you were talking about as far as building a relationship with our customers. Is I enjoy that aspect of it. And Chris is the same way. He enjoys meeting people and talking to folks. So yeah, I enjoy it a lot.
So tell a little bit about your story. I know you're a local boy, but talk about where you're from and how you got here.
Well, I am from Chattanooga, just down the road. But I have, as you mentioned, spent some time in sales, different things. Sales is sales. It's building relationships. It doesn't matter what you're selling. And I was in the car business for a little while, sold IT services for a while, and all the while I'm doing this, I'm remodeling my house. And so I'm learning things. I keep growing my skills there, and I'm like, man, I really enjoy this stuff. Why not, do something with it? And so I had the opportunity to work with a fellow a while back for a while, doing some remodeling, kind of baptism by fire too. It was a lot all at once, but I learned a lot. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't too far long after that you contacted me to kind of come over, do some roofing sales, do some field work as far as remodeling, and it's been a blast. Really enjoying it.
And you've had a busy couple weeks. We had
it's been crazy.
We had some wind come through here. Jesse, listen, look at Jesse's. For those of you on Facebook right now, if you're not on Facebook, Jesse is grinning from ear to ear. And just when you mentioned wind, like Jesse's the guy because he's the roofing side of our business. That's his baby. When we hear that there's storms coming, everybody else is like buckling down and trying to figure out where the safe spot is. Jesse's checking the internet, if we still have internet at that point. He's on his weather radio listening for hail reports.
I want hail reports. I put my wind jacket on. You guys are hunkering down, and I'm going out looking.
Yeah.
It just happens.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is. Things have to get fixed, though.
Yeah, and to that end, one of the things I wanted to kind of start with here is when we get these winds and you've got a damage or all of a sudden you've got a leak. Mm-hmm. Jesse, talk folks through kind of like that emergency services stuff that we can provide. A lot of people can provide, but that insurance will take care of typically. Will you talk about that?
Yeah, so anytime you lose shingles, you've got to protect your property or the insurance company is going to call it neglect. So we have people that are on board every time that there are storms that are coming. They're a phone call away. The response time typically would be within about a 24-hour period, 24 to 48 hours, depending on how severe it is. But you've got to put temporary repairs in place, tarps, synthetic felt over the top of what's missing. If windows got broke because of heavy winds, we can do board ups on windows. I've seen trees fall on houses, have to come out there over the weekend or the next day and have a crew ready to remove the tree. Sometimes it's chainsaws, other times it's pulley systems and trucks and getting it off the house first, and then it's the protection of your property until you can get an insurance adjuster to the property to get everything assessed and fixed. I feel like we kind of set ourselves apart because we will respond in those situations because it happens. It happens more than what we think.
Yeah.
And you never know. You never always have your insurance in line.
Yeah, and folks, one thing, anytime we talk about insurance, we always make the disclaimer.
Yes.
We're not insurance agents.
We're not, no.
We don't have a dog in that race. So we are not licensed by the Tennessee Department of Commerce and Insurance. However,
We do have our GC.
We do have our general contractor's license, and we are absolutely got a lot of experiential and anecdotal data. And the thing to remember about everything Jesse just said is that the majority of homeowner plans are going to cover those temporary repairs.
Yeah.
Especially, I mean, if you've got a tree laying on your roof, it's got to get off of there, or it's just causing more damage. You're just the problem gets crazy. So we've got folks that are just we've got tree folks that are ready. We've got tarp crews that are ready. We don't get hit a lot of times. Meteorology's it's still the best job in the world because you can be wrong half the time and still keep your job. However, we don't get a lot of storms that we aren't kind of expecting.
Right.
We're
notified in advance.
So Jesse usually has kind of his ducks in a row, and he's got teams ready. So this isn't stuff that you feel like you've got to write a check for that day. We understand insurance work. We understand, and we don't mind insurance work. And I will tell you, there are a lot of general contractors that don't like to do insurance work, and that's their prerogative. That doesn't make us better or them better or worse for that matter. But it's just something we know is we're comfortable doing things for insurance monies. But the other part of it is sometimes you're not paid as quickly, and that's what a lot of contractors have a problem with cash flow. They just like knowing that it's coming quickly. With us, it's something, for me, it's almost, sometimes insurance money is great because you know it's coming.
You know, it's a guaranteed money that's coming once you get everything approved.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with insurance companies. Once you get the guarantee and the go-ahead, they're going to pay.
Yeah, and that's part of our job as your contractor. If you hire us on, even in that temporary status, you may not even know what all the damage is, and we have contingency agreements that we can sign with you. But it puts us to work for you, and not just in rebuilding your house, but it makes us an advocate for the full repair of your house. When an adjuster comes out, especially when we talk about trees, if there is a tree that fell on your house, the adjuster can only see what he or she can see. Once we get that tree off, we don't know what kind of roof damage was done. We don't know if there was barge rafter damage. We don't know what's underneath that decking that got snapped. So our job then is to do, and Jesse, if you want to talk about kind of the supplemental process, but it's really to be an advocate to make sure you're put back to whole.
Yep. Well, perfect example. We have a current customer of ours that one night, a couple weeks ago, a tree, I think it was around midnight, 11:30 at night to midnight. He said that he woke up in the middle of the night because a tree fell on his house and not only hit the house, but then it rolled off of his house and hit his deck, which is a second loud noise and a boom. He said he got so freaked out, walked outside and realized that this tree is humongous. So the next day he called the insurance company to file the claim, and the first thing that the adjuster said was, I can't come out to your roof, or I can't come out and assess the damage until the tree gets removed, because they want to be able to see the full amount of damages.
Yeah.
So what I did is I went out there, we got the tree removed, completely removed off the property, and then I assessed the damage myself as a contractor, and then realized that when the adjuster came out 2 weeks later, that I had missed some things that we identified together with the insurance company, which allowed me to supplement my estimate to capture all the damages that weren't found on the initial scope.
And understand, folks, that stuff is possible. Insurance companies don't just have to give you one check. Now, they're going to want to, because their business model is built on giving you as little as they can get away with. But understand that just because they've given you a check doesn't mean that claim's closed. That's where we go back to work for you. When we come back, we'll talk more about it. And we'll talk a little bit more about this last windstorm, what we're seeing. Mark, we're going to talk to Mark a little bit about what he's been out in the field the last few days, really dealing with a lot of these as they've come through, and maybe have some questions that you guys may have. If you're ever put in that situation, we want to be here to help you with that. So hang in there. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back. You're listening to Home Solutions right here on Mix 104.1 and 101.3 The Buzz.
Are you tired of going to YouTube or Google for answers to your home improvement questions? Maybe you have more projects than you have time. No matter where you are in the process, Pro 93 Home Solutions is ready to serve you. Pro 93 is a local, veteran-owned company offering residential and commercial remodeling, cleaning, and security. Contact us today at 458-4135 or online at pro93homesolutions.com. Let the pros at Pro 93 find the solution for your home or business. That's 458-4135.
Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for hanging in there with us today. We've got Jesse Mathews, Mark Russell in studio with me, Dennis Purvis. I'm here to talk a little things about everything we've had going on the last few weeks. With it's that time of year when we're starting to get some high winds, some big thunderstorms, some straight line winds. We all saw some of the horrific sights that other parts of the South got hit with. I know my cousin over in Arkansas, it just missed her home. She feels real fortunate. When you see that stuff, you know, there's things you need to start thinking about. And the first thing we want to talk about today, as we talk about this, is know your insurance policy. Folks, if you haven't read your homeowner's policy in a while, I get it. I do the same thing. Every year your policy renews. You get that big 8.5 by 11 thick envelope in the mail. I probably have 3 of them upstairs in my filing cabinet from the last 3 years. The seal hasn't been broken. Luckily, I've got a really good agent who calls me and goes over my renewal with me and any changes. But folks, I'm telling you, you think, oh, well, you know, the insurance company, I trust them. You know, I love my agent. I can tell you, I know Jesse and I have told this story on air before, but we've got a good friend and customer who had significant storm damage on his roof. Called us out. We identified it, and he made a claim and found out that at his last renewal, roof replacement had been taken.
They omitted it.
Had been omitted from his policy. Now, no one could tell him why, but it was past the point where he could say anything about it.
It's crazy.
And he had to pay out of pocket for that roof. So, folks, read your policy. If you don't have an agent that'll go through your policy with you, go find a new agent. I don't know if you've been around Cleveland, but there's
quite a few to select from.
Yeah, it's just like churches and lawyers in this town. We got churches, lawyers, and
pharmacies,
and insurance agents. So find someone who's going to take the time to know your policy. That's as far as being prepared. Being prepared for a storm that pops up or that comes through your neighborhood is kind of a 1 in a million shot. But the least you can do is know that you're in probably one of the biggest investments any of us are ever going to make is our home. Make sure that thing's protected. And once that happens, so the storms hit, Jesse, we've talked about this. Mark, you've been out there. So I'm going to ask you, Mark, as you've been out there in these last few weeks seeing folks, are these folks that are just now, are you seeing folks that knew they had damage that night, or are you also seeing folks that are just kind of seeing maybe they drove up one day this week and thought, I'm missing some shingles up there? Or what are you seeing as you're going out there and seeing folks with storm damage?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, some people will see, missing shingles right off. Some people find them and they're like, I don't know when this happened. I had one customer not too long ago, last week maybe. She didn't know she had roof damage until she had a leak in her garage. Mm-hmm. So,
and by then you've had a leak for a minute.
Yeah. So, but I'm seeing it. Yeah, I'm seeing all of it.
I think, and a lot of times what happens are storms hit that day, and then 2-3 weeks later is when the evidence of the storm starts to show up. Mm-hmm. You'll start seeing neighbors getting roofs fixed. You'll start seeing people in your cul-de-sac that are doing work around their house, and then you're realizing, well, wait a minute. Mm-hmm. If they just had damage, what's wrong with my house?
If you're the only, here's a pretty clear sign, folks. If you're the only person on your street that hasn't had a new roof in the last year, everybody else has got a new roof.
Call us for an inspection.
Yeah, chances are you're fine.
And that's the thing too. We come out for free inspections.
Yeah.
We won't charge for any of our inspections. If we come out and realize that there is no damage, then we're upfront and honest and say it's not worth filing an insurance claim.
And it doesn't cost you a dime because we don't want to set you back. And we're, filing on a claim that's not going to do you any good doesn't help anybody. It just makes your premium go up. And I just want to be clear about one thing. Mark and Jesse will come out and get on your roof and do it. I am scared to death of heights. I will be in the truck, in the driveway going, good job, guys. There have been some roofs that we've gotten on. I know one big church in Chattanooga we were just visiting that Jesse was checking out their steeple. They had storm damage on their steeple. I'm just going to tell you, I couldn't even make it through the inspection. I was sick to my stomach just watching him climb up there.
It was pretty fun.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's one way to say it. It was also nauseating for others. Fun is definitely a way to look at it.
It's a rush.
Yeah, you guys just.
If I fell, it would have been a bad
folks,
day.
When you call us, you got guys that love this stuff. They're so excited. I mean, I'm not, but they are. But so yeah, guys, understand that we're not using that as some sort of loss leader on free inspections. Without estimates and inspections, we don't get customers. So we absolutely stand by that and what we do. So, Mark, when you're headed out to, somebody's called you with some damage, you've done the inspection. What are the questions you get the most from customers? I hate to put you on the spot, but but I know there's probably a few questions that you get from a lot of them that if this isn't what you deal with every day, folks just don't understand.
Oh, well, that's true. That's true. The questions vary depending on what's going on, too. But one of the biggest questions, I guess, is how quick can I be put back whole? How quick can we?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we do have a pretty good turnaround time on our roof repairs and things like that. But I think that's one thing that I get asked a lot. People want to be put back to whole, and they want to feel good about the people who are helping them do it too.
And I think a lot of folks, it's we live in a society now where a lot of people are waiting for the other shoe to drop. Mm-hmm. And a lot of folks just don't believe, insurance is one of those things you don't use every day.
Right.
My dad's always preached, it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So I've always made sure my insurance was paid, but when the times you need it, you're like, well, is this really going to pay off? Are they really going to do what they said they would? So I get that. And, we don't do it. We pay for the sins of others as contractors all the time.
Sure. Yeah.
Everybody we go out to has a contractor story that started, I gave him some money and I never saw him again.
Right.
So yeah, we understand. So, part of our job is just reassuring you that we're going to work as an advocate on your behalf. We tell folks once they sign a contract with us and go partner with us on whatever projects they have, they're part of the family now, and they don't have to question who they're going to call anymore. Back when they don't have to refer back, even back in the day when they used to have to use the yellow pages, or they don't have to go to Google and wonder. They can just give us a call and we can help them. And remember, folks, we are a general contractor, which means we can do anything you guys need around your home. I mean, from small to big. So, in Mark, to your question about how fast can I get made whole, a lot of that too depends on the complexity of the damage, right?
Oh, sure. And like I've said, I've seen everything from, today, Jesse and I were looking at one with, 3 or 4 shingles missing. The guy's like, hey, I do need to get that taken care of, all the way to, I looked at one yesterday out in Birchwood, and tornado had come through, maybe 100, 200 yards from the house. And just it's going to be a big project.
Rip the panels off.
Oh yeah, and back to your question too. One of the questions I get a lot is, hey, well, if I'm going to say I'm going to get a new roof, or insurance is going to pay for a new roof, or I'm just going to buy one. A lot of people are like, do I want to get asphalt shingles, or do I want metal roof? And Jesse can probably tell you more about this, but there's pros and cons to each. And just depends on your particular situation and what you're looking for.
So to that end, Jesse, we do get that question a lot. I know we were just talking about it earlier before we came on air, where somebody's maybe got shingles. Mm-hmm. The insurance is going to pay for a shingle replacement, but they do want to go to a metal,
which is
how does talk to people about how that process
so that
works.
Process can work. That process is simply that insurance is required to pay you back to whole. I mean, like kind back to whole with like kind material.
Yeah.
So they'll put a dollar amount based on what's going on with your shingles for a full replacement if that's what it's calling for. And then what I normally will do is I'll price out the cost of the metal, labor and the materials to get all that installed. And if it's a difference in price, then it would just be an additional charge to the customer. And the insurance company will release any depreciation that's there because you still do put on a full roof. It's not like you're cutting your roof in half and not doing the work that the insurance is asked you to do by paying you those dollars. So it is possible to do an upgrade, or it's possible to switch the materials from shingles to metal or metals to shingles, vice versa. So it's definitely doable.
And, we're going to help with that as well, because any depreciation that you might have that the insurance company is holding back to make sure you get the repairs done, we take care of that no matter what kind of roof we put on. as long as we're done and we're satisfied that the job's well done, we send in a letter of completion to get that money released for you one way or the other.
Correct.
So it's, and a lot of folks, you know, they get that, well, if I'm going to have some work done at my house, there's no better time than now while it's already being worked on. So, you know, we love to talk through those options with you. Again, you can reach us 458-4135. If you listen to the prompts, if you have a roofing question, is it option 4? What option are you? Option 3. Listen to the prompt. I recorded the prompt and I can't remember, but if you listen to the prompts and ask for roofing, when it talks to roofing, with roofing, it'll go directly to Mark, and he can come out and take a look, make any estimates, make an inspection, help you guys out with any questions you guys have. But understand that you don't have to be fearful of the process. One of the things I think that we're good at is trying to help people kind of get to some sort of sense of ease. Nobody likes having a loss. Right. Storms are scary enough as they are. With the winds we get around here, it seems like, you know, especially ever since the tornado a few years ago, every year we get some sort of little bout of storms. So we understand you're already going through it. We're homeowners in this area. We understand. You know, it's scary for us. So we know you're already going through that. Our job is to try to make this process as easy as possible. And I can tell you what I can promise you is that we know the process. Between the three of us, there's not too much we haven't seen. I'll put it this way: when Jesse, well, you add Chris in there too. When Jesse doesn't get surprised very often. When he does, I immediately want to go see whatever it is because I'm like, I have to see this. But it's we want you to be confident in not only selecting us as your contractor, but in the work that's being done in your house. And we try to be, like I said, we document, be transparent with everything we do. We tell people all the time, we're not going to spend your money without your permission, we promise you. And when it comes to insurance money, understand this too. Insurance Jesse, talk a little bit about Xactimate and about how up-to-date their pricing is so they don't have to worry about, the nice thing about having an insurance scope of work is you don't have to worry about whether you're being fleeced by a contractor.
Right. So Xactimate is a software program that's used by the majority of insurance companies for their pricing. So everything that is allotted, from your nails to your shingles to your ridge vent to your starter core shingles to, let me think, anything, felt, button cap nails, drip edge, like everything has a line item based on either your linear footage or your square footage of a roof. So that Xactimate, when you go in and you build your estimate in Xactimate, it's the same pricing that's updated every month per zip code across the country.
Based on materials
and labor. So when we go in and build an estimate as a contractor and we use Xactimate, it's going to be very similar as long as we have the same measurements as what the insurance company has. It's going to be spot on based on how the insurance breaks down per line item.
And we have Xactimate in-house, and Jesse is our resident Xactimate guru.
I use it a lot.
So, and I will tell you, I have listened to him on the phone where an adjuster breathes a sigh of relief when he hears that Jesse, he said, well, I have Xactimate. I can just type it up in there and send it to you. And you just hear them go, oh, thank you. That sounds amazing. Because we know we just made their job easier, which, look, if it's your home and you've had a loss, you want an adjuster being as happy as possible. You know, you don't make the adjusters mad. I can tell you that. Well, folks, listen, we thank you guys for listening today. Jesse, Mark, thanks for being here.
Oh, thanks for having me. Mama always said I had a face for radio.
You do. I think I would totally agree with her. But listen, give us a call, 458-4135. We'd absolutely like to come out and help you with any problems you have, whether it's in a loss or just a project that you've been thinking about and you want to put a price on. We would love to give you an estimate and see if we can partner with you. Folks, until next Saturday, thank you so much for listening. You've been listening to Home Solutions, so go love on your family, love on your neighbor, and remember, we're all in this together. We'll see you next week.